Hello, everybody. This is Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films, and we are outside because it's a beautiful day today after it being incredibly rainy yesterday and gray. Try to take advantage when we can to be outside. So that was some footage from a Cornet film called We Explore Field and Meadow, and so it was a lot of raw outtakes that may or may not have made it into the final film, but that's what we've slowly been doing, is scanning some of the 9,000 cans that Cornet shipped to us, and it has taken us 3 years so far, and we're about halfway done, but we keep doing stuff. Anyhow, hope everybody's doing okay. I've got some films that have been recently scanned by the Prelinger Archive that we put online, and have not seen the light of day. This is new stuff. I hope the Prelinger folks put on stuff 20 years ago on the Internet Archive, and then eventually they're slowly making their way to YouTube. But yeah, this is brand new. They have two scanners in Richmond, California, and they are knocking out a bunch of beautiful footage, and it's kind of a race. We're both racing. It's them, Periscope Films, and myself, and we're just racing to digitize as much 16mm as we can. So you guys benefit from that. So anyways, here's Don't Bring Your Enemy Home. Enjoy.
The volume and speed of modern transportation have enabled people to travel the world as never before. Jet age speed, new land and air routes into the U.S., the opening of new ports, and accompanying massive increases in international travel and trade have added to the complexity of guarding the nation against insect and disease invasion. In 1960, this protection against harmful insects and diseases involved the luggage inspection of about 160 million travelers. Each year, it increases to where plant quarantine inspectors now stop a dangerous plant pest every 17 minutes at U.S. shores, borders, or airports. Here at New York's International Airport, the world's largest and busiest, United States Department of Agriculture quarantine inspectors have a task vital to everybody's interest: keeping foreign agricultural pests and diseases from slipping into the United States. The work here is representative of all plant quarantine stations throughout the country. After the international flight has been cleared by a U.S. public health officer to ensure that passengers are free of any illness or disease that may have developed during the flight, the plant quarantine man goes aboard and inspects the plane for any insects and confiscates all unauthorized agricultural products. In the meantime, the passengers have been cleared through public health and immigration and then go to one of 72 supermarket system checkout points where their luggage is inspected. To save travelers the inconvenience of presenting baggage twice, the United States Department of Agriculture and the Customs Service cooperate in joint customs and agricultural inspection. If any agricultural product is found in the luggage, the plant quarantine inspector is immediately summoned. Harmless-looking souvenirs, such as beads made from berries, dolls made from yams, a Bon Voyage fruit package, maybe an uneaten sandwich, may hide a serious hazard to our nation's food supply. Items that are prohibited entry are confiscated by the inspector. Stopping pests before they start, the best of all protective measures, is the basic procedure at all quarantine stations. All prohibited articles are carefully examined for any insect pest or disease that, if allowed to slip through, could do irreparable damage to our food, feed, and fiber. Similarly, all meat products are confiscated to protect our livestock industry. After inspection, all confiscated products are ground up in a disposal unit or burned. Identification is made of all foreign pests that are found as a screening process and to extend our knowledge of insect pests not found in this country. The United States relies on its official agricultural pest detectives, the trained quarantine inspection officers, at all international airports, seaports, and border stations. This is the first line of defense against unwanted agricultural enemies. Public cooperation by individuals and groups is an essential second line of defense against insect and disease enemies that could destroy large portions of our food supply. The United States Department of Agriculture asks your help. Keep plant and animal pests out. Don't bring your enemy home.
And they still do that too. They're pretty serious about that. I have a film that was made in the maybe late 60s, maybe early 70s, also by the USDA, which is called Among Your Souvenirs, which is also basically talking about the same thing. All right, this film is exciting. Again, this is from the Prelinger collection, and it's awesome. It's made by Kodak, and it's about the sound projector, completely new sound projector. Enjoy.
New ideas, new developments invariably come to us through the adaptation of the old to the new. Buggies were adapted or slightly changed for the installation of power, so they really were nothing more than horseless carriages. The first airplanes were not much more than box kites with motors installed. And incidentally, the camera and film that photographed this scene were destined to undergo many changes and engineering improvements before you could enjoy the clear, steady motion pictures of today. These new ideas and developments really made progress when their limitations and defects were overcome by redesigning them to be completely new. Then they became efficient, and their progress is such as has been seen. In the world of photography, Eastman Kodak Company for years made every effort to contribute to the advancement of the art through the development of the best possible tools with which to obtain the best possible results. Here, in these research laboratories, Eastman scientists have long been studying problems in connection with the recording and reproduction of sound, because both are primarily photographic problems and thus are logical subjects for specialists in the science of photography. Out of their efforts of years has come a new and modern product of Eastman engineering, a small portable projector to reproduce with the highest possible quality 16mm motion picture photography and sound. It is not an ordinary projector to which a sound reproducing mechanism has been added, but a sound projector completely new and designed to overcome the limitations and defects that are so often found in the adaptation of the old to the new. It is the Sound Kodascope Special, unique in appearance with its case of burnished aluminum, and so designed and arranged as to enclose the intermittent loops and other moving parts during operation. There is a series of interchangeable lenses available, featuring the new 4-inch f1.6 lens for long projection distances, which enables the projector to produce clear, high-quality pictures under varying conditions. Here is a projector that can be threaded for silent pictures as well as sound, but it's the channel threading of the film for sound that is the utmost in simplicity. It slips over the upper loop former, past the lens block, over the lower loop former, the sprocket shoe, the sound drum, and the lower sprockets and snubbers so easily that a novice can do it because of two outstanding features: channel threading, which you have seen, and the automatic loop former. This comes into play to form the lower loop. Heretofore, the size of this loop had to be guessed at by the operator. Unless it was right, synchronism of sound with picture might not be perfect. But now, the loop is made automatically when the machine is started. It is formed to exactly the same size each time. Thus, synchronism is assured. So much for the simplicity of operation. The design of the new Codascope Special was the result of efforts to obtain a range of frequencies in reproduction such as to make music enjoyable even to the critical ear, as well as to make speech easily understandable. The motion of the film past the scanning beam where the sound is reproduced had to be so constant that undesirable changes in pitch, which always impair quality, would not occur in the most difficult sounds, such as piano and violin music. This is accomplished by means of a special type of precision mechanism which isolates the film at the scanning point from unwanted disturbances. And the uniformity of film speed is assured by means of a mechanism completely new and unique, a viscous drive which operates within a housing filled with oil. This was designed to ensure uniform film speed past the scanning point. That this has been accomplished is demonstrated readily by a piano selection particularly critical to variations in pitch caused by an imperfect reproducing mechanism. And now the violin, with music also particularly critical to variations in pitch caused by an imperfect reproducing mechanism. Because 16mm sound projectors are likely to be used under conditions requiring the machine to be operated close to the audience, it is necessary to have as quiet a mechanism as possible. Therefore, this jacket has been designed not only for appearance, but to dampen the sound of moving parts. And in addition, gears and other high-speed parts are immersed in an oil bath housed in a leak-proof substantial casting. This ensures not only a minimum of noise, but also a minimum of wear of the parts. Note the quietness of the projector as you listen to music. In addition to simplicity of operation, the quietest of mechanisms and absence of speed variations which produce annoying variations in pitch, it was specified that the Codascope Special have a preamplifier which is close to the scanning point and a main amplifier within the cabinet of the loudspeaker, capable of reproducing full orchestra volume without overloading, as well as the sibilant and other high-pitched speech sounds such as syllable, sassafras, ester, thistle, thee, stainless, than, speech, spinach, 5, 9. And then the low as well as the high register in musical sounds. Listen to the realistic reproduction of the bass instruments in a jazz orchestra, as well as the high-pitch instruments such as cymbals and tambourine. You have had the unpleasant experience of overloading when you tried to increase volume. But we can now increase your volume until it becomes uncomfortable and unpleasant to listen to. But if you partly close your ears by putting your index fingers over them, you will note that your ears overload and not the amplifier. Thus, the aim of Eastman Kodak Company to produce a 16mm sound projector of the very highest quality has resulted in a completely new and modern product built to give you every picture and sound value on the film that science and engineering can produce. This is the new Sound Codascope Special.
So somebody in the comments asked me if I had used this projector before, and I wasn't actually looking at the details behind it. I did have a Codascope sound projector back in the day, even before I was collecting films. I had one because I used to get like AV equipment just in general, and I had one, but I'd never had any films for it. But in looking at that one, that the thing with the take-up reel being at like 90 degrees, what a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Holy cow. Oh, this tree is like, it's just dropping stuff on me. This might be why I have like weird allergies. But what a horrible idea to have the take-up like 90 degrees, because that film is going to twist, and if there's any splices, like at the time there were just glue splices, pop, pop, pop. Wow. And the thing is, like, I think in sound technology, there were a lot of companies that had patents, and Kodak might have made this initial machine the way it was so that they could get a patent for it and not infringe on other patents. I'm not sure. I don't know. This is all supposition, but wow, that was fascinating. And yes, you will see that image again. I am definitely going to clip it and use it for my intros. Yeah. Here's a very early cornet film that that the Prelinger folks have scanned that we haven't run across yet in our scanning a bunch of Prelinger stuff. We do have some that are from this time period that are in beautiful Kodachrome, but this one, and so we're hoping to find it. But anyways, here's one, Letter to Grandmother. Enjoy.
New ideas, new developments invariably come to us through the adaptation of the old to the new. Buggies were adapted or slightly changed for the installation of power, so they really were nothing more than horseless carriages. The first airplanes were not much more than box kites with motors installed.
You don't need to bark at me. I don't have your ball. We left your ball and blanket down at Grandma's farm. I'll write to Grandma and ask her to send us your ball, and then we can play again. Dear Grandma, we had... Now I've written Grandma's name and address on the envelope. Mrs. Thomas Rogers, Greencastle, Indiana. Rural Freight Route number 2. Listen to this. We left Chip's ball and blanket at your house. I wish you would send them at me every day to tell me I must play ball with him. Thank you so much for all the things you do for me. Lovingly, Mary.
Mary?
Mother, I have written a letter to Grandma and asked her to send us Chip's ball and blanket. Now I need a stamp. Do you always use a 3-cent stamp on a letter?
You use a 3-cent stamp on an ordinary sealed letter that goes out of town, Mary.
Do you have any stamps? I want to mail it right away.
I think so. Are you going to take the dog with you?
Yes, I do, Mother.
Well, be sure to put his leash on and be careful when you cross the street.
Yes, we will. Come on, Chips. Bye, Mother.
Goodbye, dear.
Hello there. Mighty nice dog you've got. Hi, Brownie.
His name is Chip. Quiet, Chips. Behave yourself. I just mailed a letter to Grandma.
I see.
Do you come for the mail every day?
Yes, I come twice a day on weekdays and once on Sundays late. Here's my schedule for this box. You see, mail is collected from this box at 10 in the morning and 4 afternoon.
That's my letter on top.
Well, so it is.
What are you going to do with it now?
Well, I'm going to take it down to the post office. Have you ever seen what happens to a letter at the post office?
No, I haven't, but I'd like to sometime.
Hey, you're Bill John's daughter, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I thought so. Well, why don't you ask your mother to bring you down to the post office and see what happens to your letter? I'll be through picking up the mail on my route and be back down there in an hour.
That would be fun. Come on, Chips, let's go home and ask Mother. Goodbye and thank you.
Goodbye.
Mother, there's the man who took my letter.
Well, good morning, Mr. Stevens.
Good morning, Mrs. John.
This is my daughter, Mary.
Hello.
Mary said you'd show us how the post office handles letters.
Yes, I thought it would be nice if she saw the inside of the post office. Let's go up on the platform. I bring the mail from all over the city in these satchels and then take it into the post office. Some of the letters will go to people in this same city. Others will go on trains to other places. First, the letters are placed in order with the address and stamped sides, all faced in one direction.
Look, Mother, there's my letter to Grandma.
The clerk sorts out all the mail that won't go through the canceling machine and puts it up here.
What does he do with the letters now?
They go to the canceling machines. Let's go over there and see what happens.
What are those marks on my letter?
The canceling machine puts on the postmark, which shows the city where the letter was mailed, the date, and the time of day. The machine also makes marks across the stamp that's on the letter. Let's go over here and see what happens next. Hello, Bill. Hello. This little girl's letter to her grandmother is the first one on that pile. Can you tell her what you do with the letters?
Well, I put the letters into these pigeonholes according to where they go. Your letter goes into this pigeonhole, along with a bunch of letters that go north on the noon train. After I get all the letters sorted, I tie each package together. Then I put them into the proper bag or pouch over here. Your letter is in one of the bundles that went into the pouch for local northbound train number 6. It's time for the pouches that go on that train to be taken to the station. Pouches are locked before they leave the post office to make sure that no letters are lost. There. Now the pouches will be taken to the station where they will be put on the northbound train, which leaves in about 20 minutes.
Well, Mary, your letter's on its way to grandmother. We're very glad you and your mother came by to visit the post office.
Mother, can't we go down and watch them put the mail on the train?
Surely we can. It's only a couple of blocks away. Come along. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Stevens, for showing us around.
You're quite welcome.
Goodbye and thank you a lot.
Goodbye.
Are those mail bags they are taking off?
Yes, mail to this city is taken off the train first. Then the mail going from the city is loaded onto the mail car of the train. Your letter to Grandma's in one of those bags going on the train now.
Now,
Now your letter is really on its way.
Want to come, Mother?
Inside the mail car, as the train goes on its way, some of the pouches are emptied and some of the bundles are put into other pouches. Other bundles are opened and the letters are sorted again, so that they may be put off the train at other cities on or near this railroad. The railway mail clerk is sorting the letters according to the city where they go. Mary's letter
goes into one of these pigeonholes with other letters addressed to the same post office. When the sorting is finished, the letters for each town are tied in a bundle. Notice how fast the man ties the bundle. The bundle containing Mary's letter is in one of these pouches, which will be unloaded when the train stops at the town near Grandmother's farm. Now the train carrying Mary's letter is arriving at the city near Grandmother's farm. After the mail bags are put off the train, they're taken by truck to the loading platform at the rear of the post office. The pouches are then loaded onto a small hand truck and taken inside the post office. Then the pouches are unlocked and opened. Letters and packages are dumped out and sorted again. Some of these letters will go to people who live in the city, while others will go to people who live on the farms nearby. Mary's grandmother lives on a farm on rural route number 2. Mary's letter will be delivered by a rural mail carrier in the morning. Early next morning, the rural mail carrier arranges his letters in the order in which people live on his mail route. He must know the name of every person who lives on his route and where each one lives. Meanwhile, in another part of the post office, this clerk is busy sorting packages for city delivery. The rural carrier has finished sorting his mail and is now tying it into bundles so that he can carry it easily. He delivers all the mail for the people on his route, including letters, newspapers, magazines, and parcel post packages. Each day, the rural carrier drives about 50 miles through the country to take mail to people on his route. He also picks up mail to take it back to the post office. The rural carrier drives his own car and is paid for the use of it by the post office. And here is the rural carrier as he arrives at Grandmother's mailbox. He takes the mail out of the box and puts Mary's letter in. He leaves the signal flag on top of the box up so that the people in the house can see that there's mail in the box.
Oh, a letter from Mary. I knew she'd want that dog's blanket and ball. Well, I'll put them in a box right away, and tomorrow I'll send them to her by parcel post.
Next morning, Mary's grandmother goes to the mailbox and waits for the rural carrier. She knows just about when he will come.
Good morning, Mrs. Rogers.
Good morning. I want to send this package to my granddaughter by parcel post.
Is there anything breakable or perishable in it?
No.
Any reading matter? You want it insured?
No. It's just a dog's blanket and ball. What do you suppose the postage will be on it?
Well, it weighs about 2 pounds, I guess, and Bloomington is less than 50 miles away, so that puts it in Zone 1. It'll cost you about 12 cents, Mrs. Rogers.
All right. Here's 15 cents. Now, if there's any change, you can just leave it in the box tomorrow. Oh, and here's a letter to my granddaughter, too, but I put a stamp on that.
And there's your mail, Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later in the day, the rural carrier returns to the post office with the letters and packages he's picked up on his route. Inside the post office, the packages which the rural carrier has picked up are weighed, stamped, and postmarked by the clerk at the stamp window. The rural carrier must then make a note of the cost of stamps and return the change to Grandmother next day. Grandmother's package for Mary goes into a sack along with other packages addressed to the town where Mary lives. Then the sack is locked and sent to the waiting truck. At the loading platform of the post office, the bags are put in the truck. The bags of mail are taken to the railroad station, and when the train arrives, this man loads the pouch containing Grandmother's letter to Mary and a sack containing the package onto the train. This man also receives pouches of incoming mail from the train. Inside the mail car of the train, a clerk is putting all the bags that must be unloaded at the town where Mary lives beside the door of the mail car so that they'll be ready to be put off when the train stops. The mail is taken from the train to the loading platform at the rear of the post office at Mary's town. Grandmother's package and letter for Mary are in the bags being unloaded. In the post office, the bags are unlocked and opened. The packages are dumped on the table and then sorted into the different city parcel post routes and the rural routes. The packages for people living in the city will be delivered by parcel post delivery trucks. Early in the morning, the several city mail carriers sort the mail on their routes and load it into their packs. When the pack is loaded and ready to take out, it weighs about 50 pounds. Grandmother's letter to Mary is in one of those bundles. In another part of the post office, Grandmother's package to Mary is being put in a sack, ready for delivery. When all the sacks are ready, the driver of the parcel post delivery truck places the packages and sacks in the order of the streets along which he will go. The packages for the beginning of his route are not placed in sacks. Those for the end of the route are placed in sacks to keep them together. Meanwhile, the city mail carrier is delivering letters and magazines to the homes on his route. He walks over his route of 4 or 5 miles twice each day, except Saturday afternoon and Sunday. The postman has just left Grandmother's letter in the mailbox of Mary's house.
Here's a letter for you, Mary.
For me? It's from Grandma. She said in your ball and blanket, maybe it will come today, and then we can play again. She wrote a lot to you.
Well, you better go to school, dear. You may be late.
Bye. Bye, Mother.
Goodbye, dear. Be careful.
The driver of this parcel post truck delivers packages to houses in many parts of the city. Later in the day, while Mary's at school, he leaves Grandmother's package at Mary's house.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Stevens.
Good morning, Mrs. John. Here's a package for Mary.
Well, that's from her grandmother. That must be the dog's ball and blanket. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, dear. There's a package for you on the table.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's Chip's ball and blanket.
I was just going to take Chips out for a walk.
Oh, couldn't I, Mother? Then we can play ball together.
All right.
Come on, Chip.
And so we have seen how our great postal system has served to bring Chip's ball and blanket back to Mary. In a similar way, the postal system serves all of us.
All right, so it took me a while to do some research on that. When that version came out, it came out in 1946, and we have scanned footage, original camera materials from the 1964 version. And there was a B-roll, which I need to follow up on and see what the deal with that is, because that might also, I don't know what version that is. But what I've discovered is that Cornet shot almost everything in Kodachrome until like the 70s. And so everything is beautiful color. They would have colored prints that places could purchase or rent, but the vast majority of libraries got black and white. They didn't think it was worth it. But it's a fascinating film. Why do we collect films? So we can see like the whole process of how someone communicated with their grandmother, circa 1946. The idea that, long distance is too expensive and you might not even have that option. You might not even have a phone in 1946. But this is a way to communicate, and this is how packages and mail were sent. And some of that has not changed. The physicality of it has not changed. So there you go. All right, let's see. This film, I have a similar film, just like with the one about the customs. This one is called Hard Water, The Household Swindler. And I have a film that's kind of similar. It's called Soft as a Cloud, which basically talks about how water is old-fashioned and that hard water robs you of clean dishes, clean clothes, and nice fluffy hair. Let's see what Hard Water, The Household Swindler, has to say on the subject. And let's see who made it. That's the other thing is the previous one, Soft as a Cloud, was made by a company that made water softeners. Let's see who made this film. Enjoy.
Water. High in the clouds over the great permanent watersheds of our country, nature starts the wonderful cycle of condensation and evaporation which ensures our water supply. Few people realize the importance of water in our everyday lives. Next to the air we breathe, water is man's greatest earthly possession. Civilization has flourished with its abundance and disappeared where it became scarce. Falling to the earth as snow or rain, water starts on its journey to your home. Lying in the great snowfields of our high mountains or running through clear mountain streams, water is soft and free from harmful chemicals. If you could have it in this condition in your home, you would have the finest possible water for every household use. But water like this is hundreds, even thousands of miles from your home and must be brought to you by artificial means. Where water seeps into underground rivers and storage basins, it is constantly exposed to limestone and other chemical-bearing minerals. And from these minerals begins a never-ending process of absorbing hardness compounds. The United States Geological Survey tells us that 3/4 of the area of our country has hard water supply. Flying high over a muddy river affords a better view of water filled with hardness-laden silts after it has passed over many miles of country. Erosion of our lands provides still more exposure to harmful minerals. a clear blue river retains the freshness of its origin, then flows into muddy waters and adds its volume to the flood. Countless streams and rivers over the earth's surface unceasingly carry on this sculpturing with flowing water. Great canyons have been closed off by man to hold back the rush of water to the sea. It has taken all of man's ingenuity to bring water from its sources across great distances, harness it, and send it on again to the many cities and towns where he needs it. But even where water is pumped from deep wells, it has sufficient opportunity to change from naturally soft water to harmful hard water before it reaches your home. Municipal health and water departments carefully control an abundance of water and supply it from reservoirs like these. In spite of this care, your home is in one of these hard water areas, and because of this, you will be vitally interested in the harmful effects of hard water and the benefits of soft water. Laboratories have made many scientific tests with water, most of which are simple and can be performed in your own home. This is the soap test, establishing hardness. Into the test tube containing soft water goes 1 drop of liquid soap. The hard water tube also receives 1 drop. Now the tubes are given an equal shaking. Notice that the soap has been converted to dirt-chasing suds, and that the water beneath the suds is clear and free of curds. In the hard water tube, nothing has happened. In order to equal the amount of suds produced by the 1 drop of soap in the soft water, we have to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more drops. But notice the grayness of the water. The soap has been consumed by coagulation with the calcium and magnesium in hard water, forming insoluble gummy curds. These curds cause many vexations around your home. Potatoes take as much as 40% longer to cook in hard water than they do in soft water. These peas cooked in hard water are shriveled, yellowish, and lack flavor. Peas cooked in soft water are full, round, green, and flavorful. Common in most homes is the limed-up tea kettle caused by hard water. Hard water scale and deposits clog and ruin household plumbing and drains. Unknown to the average person is the fact that hard water scale formed in your water heater acts as an insulator, wasting up to 25% of your fuel. The American people pay a toll of millions of dollars a year in countless ways to hard water, the household swindler. The importance of soft water to fabrics is borne out by the fact that fabric processors use only soft water in the handling of manufacturing materials. In the home, every woman appreciates the importance of proper care of her precious hosiery, especially where a beautiful figure is concerned. Soft water is necessary to retain the color and texture of fabrics under repeated washing. The life of washable fabric is increased 25 to 50%, and washing time is cut almost in half. Here the scientist places a new nylon stocking under the powerful microscope. Notice how lustrous each fiber is and how elastic and soft the fibers look. Here is a nylon washed 15 times in soft water. Its appearance is the same as that of the new nylon. Both have the desired luster and softness. This nylon has been washed 15 times in hard water. See how dull and lifeless the threads look. They are brittle and taut and ready to snap at any moment, causing costly runs. A better comparison is possible when the two are placed under the microscope together. The one on the left has been washed in soft water, while the other has been washed in hard water. The difference is apparent and reveals the advantages of washing fabrics in nothing but soft water. The elimination of the insoluble, graying, dirt-filled curds caused by hard water offers still another important advantage in the case of diapers, for these curds are the cause of diaper rash. In this diaper washed 15 times in hard water, see the curd-filled fibers which cause rash. Where a diaper is washed 15 times in soft water, it is clean and free from curds so harmful to a baby's skin. All other washable fabrics benefit as much from the use of soft water. Now compare the diaper washed in soft water with the one washed in hard water. The soft water diaper on the left is smooth and retains all that softness so vital to a baby's comfort and health. As a further comparison, in this picture, the diaper on the left is new, while the one on the right has been washed 15 times in soft water. The fibers of both are clean and free from the harmful hard water curds. Magnification here proves that washing with soft water leaves the hair clean and free of soap curds and restores it to its natural brilliance, while the same hair washed in hard water is unsightly and lacks cleanliness. Razor blades tell the story of the difference between a hard water shave and a soft water shave. Men's whiskers coated with hard water film are tough to cut. The blade on the left shows what happens. Soft water beards are easy to shave, triple the life of the blade, and keep the skin smooth and soft. Dermatologists have made remarkable discoveries about the bad effects of hard water on the skin. To illustrate this, one of the hands is being washed in hard water. The other will be washed in soft water. Hard water and harsh soaps make hands unsightly and unsafe. As dermatologists point out,
this condition encourages bacteria which can cause serious infection. The microscope brings out in detail the damaging effects of hard water. Notice the dull soap film over the hand and how the pores are not open and clear. This insoluble film causes rashes, harshness, broken skin, and hard, brittle cuticle. This soft water washed hand has clean, open pores, free from debris, dirt, and film so harmful to skin. There is no need for expensive lotions when you use soft water. The face offers even greater problems where hard water is used. The fact that hard water cannot thoroughly clean the pores and forms an insoluble film causes natural secretions to back up in the pores. Here the skin is already clogged with cosmetics and face creams. Hard water fails to clean the pores. This is the cause of acne, blackheads, blemishes, pimples, and a host of other skin problems. No skin with pores plugged with the scum and debris of hard water washing can be soft and lovely. Notice these rich suds that help the soft water do a better cleansing job. These clean, open pores are the sign of a healthy, beautiful, soft skin. No costly makeup is required here to cover up facial blemishes. The proper care of your skin is important.
To let you see how hard and soft water work out in the house, we'll start with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Do you remember that razor blade you saw under the microscope? The one that looked like a cross-cut saw? Well, that's what Mr. Jones' razor blade looks like. No wonder he looks unhappy. Mrs. Jones has hard water to wash her dishes in. Look at all that expensive soap. That waste is so unnecessary.
Ouch!
No wonder, with your hands in a strong solution of soap and hard water. Hard water covers dishes with a dulling film of soap curds. This regular tattletale gray wash is beginning to get Mrs. Jones down. This is Mrs. Smith's washing. Mrs. Smith uses soft water.
Good morning, Mrs. Smith.
Good morning.
I do hope you'll forgive my asking, but I would like to know why your clothes are always so white and mine are so dull.
I use soft water.
But don't we both use the same water?
No, Mrs. Jones, we don't. My husband had a water softener installed. Come on in the house. See how little soap it takes?
Just look at all the lovely suds.
Notice how bright and shiny the glass is. Aren't the dishes lovely?
I should say so.
No streaks, and they dry that way. We don't use dish towels anymore. Let me show you my washing. Just look at the rich, soft water suds. Now you see why my clothes are so white?
Why, that's wonderful. But how can I tell that I have hard water?
Come on, I'll show you. This is a sure sign that everyone recognizes, the ring around the bathtub.
That ring is soap curds caused by hard water. By changing to soft water, just a quick rinse, and your tub is ready for the next refreshing, cleansing, soft water bath. Progressive contractors are installing water softeners in new homes to ensure the utmost in modern living for the purchasers. Thanks to the dollar savings affected by softeners, no home need be without this modern miracle. For in every case, the savings more than pay for the initial cost of a softener. Water softener factories all over the country have greatly enlarged their capacity to handle the demand. The increased use of domestic softeners is made possible largely because of synthetic softening minerals developed during the war and now available to you. This is how a modern softener works. Hard, unfiltered water is carried by pipe from lakes, deep wells, or reservoirs. In the softener, it first passes through the mineral in Section A, which filters out dirt and debris and removes all hardness compounds. B and C further stop foreign matter and prevent any loss of softening mineral. From the bottom of the tank goes crystal clear soft water, perfect for drinking and every household use. National magazines have carried the story to millions of Americans with articles pointing out the costly, damaging effects of hard water. Yearly expenditures for an average family of 4 using hard water are $900 for food, $300 for sheets, nylons, towels, linens, clothes, $60 for soap, cleaners, bleaches, lotions, and softeners, and $70 for fuel, plumbing, washers, and heaters. Yearly savings for an average family of 4 using soft water are $18 or 2% on food, $75 or 25% on sheets, nylons, towels, linens, and clothes, $48 or 80% on soap, cleaners, bleaches, lotions, and softeners, and $25 or 35% on fuel, plumbing, washers, and heaters. These savings total $166 per year, or $13.83 per month. Figures are based on present-day cost of living. The economic necessity of soft water is based on information from the following sources: the United States Department of Labor, United States Department of Commerce, Heller Committees for Research, the Copper and Brass Research Association, and the Cleanliness Institute. The Hollywood motion picture industry makes no compromise where perfection is concerned. It is imperative that the stars guard the care of their skin and hair, for they know that the critical eye of the camera demands perfection. This is what soft water does for the skin and hair. Life magazine stated that soft water washed hair reflects 54% more light. Notice the brilliance and luster, so important to all women. Well, well, look who's here. It's Mrs. Jones again. And is she happy? That's what soft water does for you. And Mr. Jones. You can see how he likes the feel of that mountain soft water. No one should underestimate the importance of water in his home. Remember that an average dwelling uses about 200 gallons of water each and every day for heating, laundering, bathing, shaving, sanitation, scrubbing, drinking, cooking, and dishwashing. That adds up to more than 300 tons of water every year. So be sure that for all these uses, you have water as fresh, sparkling, and soft as nature intended it for you. Next to the very air we breathe, man's greatest earthly possession is clean, pure, and healthful soft water.
I can't believe that I did all that without turning on the mic. I thought that I had done it. But anyways, thumbs up. Watch videos with ads to make money for us so we can pay for storage. ko-fi.com/avgeeks, patreon.com/avgeeks. Thumbs up. Love you guys. Sorry. Wow. All right. See ya. Bye.